he was a warrior,
way up,
a warrior and a terrier.
Jean-Francois,
Boney fought the Russians,
way up,
the Russians and the Prussians.
Jean-Francois,
Boney marched to Moscow,
way up,
lost his army in the snow.
Jean-Francois,
Boney went to Waterloo,
way up,
and there he got his overthrow.
Jean-Francois,
Away in St. Helena,
way up,
Boney broke his heart and died.
Jean-Francois. Come all you bold seamen, wherever you're bound, and always let your sons from memory go round, and pray at the wars and the tomb of Macy's, for the greatest of gifts gives us sweet lasting peace. May the Lord put an end to this cruel and old wars, and bring peace and contentment at last to our shores.
One thought ever at the fore, that in the divine ship, the world, breasting time and space, all peoples of the globe together sail the same voyage, are bound to the same destination.
One thought ever at the fore, that in the divine ship, the world resting time and space, all peoples of the globe together
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the internationally acclaimed Santa Monica Playhouse. Before the show begins, a brief reminder.
No eating inside the auditorium. However, drinks with lids may be brought into the theater.
The taking of any photographs or the operation of any electronic recording device is strictly prohibited.
Please turn off all cell phones and take a moment to look around you for the nearest available emergency exit.
Thank you.
Goodbye, often singing sweet because smiling makes your dimples show, makes you glow from head to toe. Smiling makes your wrinkles go away.
By Marla Hunt, and that is me singing it when I was 7 years old in the summer of 1974. And in revisiting that song, I realized the lyrics sound like what the real person, singer-songwriter Connie Converse, actually did when she packed up her belongings, went out to her car, stepped on the gas, and traveled far from the world forever, never to be seen again at the age of 50. Is this song I recorded at 7 a cosmic coincidence, fate, foreshadowing, or just a reason why I am so drawn into the life, the songs, and the mystery of Connie Converse? We lived alone, my house and I. We had the earth, we had the sky. I had a lamp against the dark, and I was happy as a lark. I had a stove and a window screen. I had a table painted green. Sat on a chair with a broken back, wearing a pretty potato sack. I had a rug upon the floor, and roses bloomed around my door. I had a job, my wants were few. They were until I wanted you. And when I set my eyes on you, nothing else would do, nothing else would do. That song was written by Connie Converse. Now, the first time I heard that song, well, it was a little over a year ago. I was walking past my husband's desk, and that song was blasting out of his computer, and it made me stop to listen because I went, wait a minute, that song sounds like Joni Mitchell. But wait a minute, that's not Joni Mitchell. I know Joni Mitchell. I mean, when I was 9 years old, the first album I ever bought was Joni Mitchell's Blue. I even learned how to play the dulcimer, just like Joni, until I learned my 5 chords on the guitar, and now I'm a singer who plunks. So I asked my husband, I went, Tom, who are you listening to? And he goes, oh, that's Connie Converse. And I went, who is Connie Converse? Should I know her? Hope. Connie Converse was the singer from the 50s, and one day she packed up her VW Bug in '74 and she just disappeared. What do you mean she just disappeared? People don't just disappear. Was she in a witness protection program? Hope, she disappeared. You need to read the article. It's in today's New York Times. And so I read the article, and then I went on the internet and I started to download her songs, and yeah, it began my journey down the Connie Converse rabbit hole. Maybe there's clues in her lyrics as to where she disappeared to that August day in 1974. People say a roving woman is likely not to be better than she ought to be. So when I stray away from where I've got to be, someone always takes me home. A lady never should habituate saloons, and that is where I find myself on many afternoons. But just when I begin to blow away the foam, someone tips his hat to me and takes me home. People say a roving woman is likely not to be better than she ought to be. So home. Now poker is a game a lady shouldn't play, and every floating poker game just seems to float my way. But long before I've lost a thing besides my comb, someone tips his hand to me and takes me home. Don't see why they always do it. Can't be vanity, must be sheer humanity. When some kind soul remarks
hearts with greater vanity. Lady, let me take you home. Of course, there's bound to be some little aftermath that makes a pleasant ending for a straight and narrow path. And as I go to sleep, I cannot help but think how glad I am that I was saved from cards and drink.
When Connie Converse was 10 years old, she wrote a manifesto called My Vow. In it she said, I vow to always be a good person, I vow to never cheat at games, I vow to always obey my mother, and to try to remember that God is with me in all trouble. When I, Hope Levy, was 10 years old, I didn't even know what a manifesto was. I was so busy getting into trouble. Like the time I graffitied a house. Now it was the backyard of a house. The house was for sale. No one was living there. What happened was my friend came over and she said, "Hi, Hope, would you like to come paint with me?" And I said, "Sure, that sounds fun." And so I followed my friend into the backyard of the house that was for sale, where we proceeded to paint everything pink. Pepto-Bismol colored pink. The fence, the patio, the furniture, everything. And let me tell you, Pepto-Bismol colored paint does not come off. Ever since we met, the world's been upside down. And if you don't stop troubling me, you'll drive me out of town. But if you go away, as trouble ought to do, where will I find another soul to tell my trouble to? Yeah, my bed is made of stone. A star has burnt my eye. I'm going down to the willow tree and teach her how to cry. But if you go away, as trouble ought to do, where will I find another soul to tell my trouble to? They bid me wear my hat, put on a nice new gown. I toss my bonnet over the roof, then I guess it won't come down. But if you go away, as trouble ought to do, where will I find another soul to tell my trouble to? Connie and I had very different upbringings. Connie was raised by strict Baptist parents. I was raised by liberal Jews. Connie was born in 1924 on the East Coast in New Hampshire. I was born on the West Coast in the 60s in Los Angeles. Connie and her two brothers were forbidden from listening, from playing, from singing popular music. My brother and I, we listened to every style of music growing up. Connie was very guarded as a person. Heck, I'm an open book. However, I am so drawn to Connie Converse. We both started songwriting in our 20s. And this next song she wrote, well, the first time I heard it, it triggered a memory and about the time my dad took my mom to this Irish pub, the new pub that opened up circa 1960 in Los Angeles. And he said he gave his last name as Levy for a party of two. And he said they had to wait an hour to be seated. Now, this is something my dad does not do. He does not wait more than 10 minutes for a table. But my mom really wanted to go, so they waited it out, and they were seated, and the food was fantastic. So much so that my dad said, "I want to go back to this Irish pub." Only this time he had a plan. At the hostess desk, instead of saying his name was Levy for a party of two, he said his name was Mick Levy. And they were seated immediately. I'll tell you a story about Johnny McClory. That's how my story was begun. I'll tell you another about Johnny's brother. And now you may think my story is done. First time I met Johnny, I could see he was bonny, and when he looked at me, how we did glow. But just as we were gazing at each other, Johnny's brother was down in Mexico. I went to a party with Johnny, my hearty. I never felt many schools I attended growing up was affectionately referred to as the hippie school, aka the open classroom, in Marin County, California, a school where reading, writing, and arithmetic just wasn't as important as going on nature walks, taking school field trips, picking flowers. Connie Converse, on the other hand, was an intellectual giant and a scholar from day one. She tested genius level on her IQ exam. She was valedictorian of her class, was granted a 4-year full-paid scholarship to Mount Holyoke College in Massachusetts, the same college her mother and her grandmother both graduated from. So when Connie quit college after 2 years with no explanation why, everyone was confused. When I quit college after 1 year, my parents were semi-relieved. My dad said, well, now we don't have to take out that second mortgage. We're eating high on the hog tonight. I'm just a dusty cowhand, a dusty, thirsty soul. I used to keep my money in a pocket with a hole. I've got one ambition, like wishing for the moon, to drink a glass of pleasure for measure, bulging out and brimming over at the Clover Saloon. I'm sitting there one evening and feeling I was straight. A feller called me something I particularly hate. I threw a bottle at him, but the feller ducked too soon. That's how I lost my credit at the Clover Saloon. I am just a dusty cowhand. Brother, I am broke. And sister, I'm so thirsty, I'm going up in smoke. I got one ambition, like wishing for the moon, to drink a glass of pleasure for measure, bulging out and brimming over at the Clover Saloon. Well, I threw a bottle at him and missed him like I said. I broke the barroom mirror and left it there for dead. Shot him through the middle to make him change his tune. That's how I lost my credit at the Clover Saloon. I am just a dusty cowhand waiting for the worst. They're hanging me tomorrow in the middle of my thirst. I've got one ambition, like wishing for the moon, to drink a glass of pleasure for measure, bulging out and brimming over at the Clover Saloon. Speaking of saloons, it's no wonder Connie wrote songs about them. Connie liked to drink a lot. And her parents were Temperance Society members. This was one of the many battles between Connie and her very strict parents, along with Connie moving to Manhattan when she's 21 on her own, taking a survival job for a very left-wing nonprofit, changing her name from Elizabeth to Connie, taking up smoking. She taught herself how to play guitar. Connie was a woman in the mid-40s, making a lot of new discoveries. I have considered the lilies. They never toil, they only bloom. They never feel chilly or tired or silly, and they don't need much room. I have considered the lilies. I have considered how they grow. Tell me how to be a lily, if you know. Whoa, 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 lily, lilies, toil not, neither do they spin. I'm gonna take my working papers and turn them in. I'm handing over my pencil and pen. I won't be needing my broom again. I'll bloom all day, I'll bloom all night, and blooming will be my delight. Bright tiger lilies
and blossoms all aflame. But spring or fall, still I love you just the same. There is a gate halfway down my garden wall, and in the night I lock it, bolts and all. And in the day it's open wide for all who would come through. But day or night it is never locked for you. Oh no, there is a tree growing by my garden gate, and year by year it seems to stand and wait. And here am I beneath the tree, for I am waiting too. And oh my love, I will always wait for you. Oh my love, I will always wait for you. I have considered the lilies. Connie Converse was our first modern-day female folk singer-songwriter whose quirky, ironically humorous, deeply personal style of songs just wasn't coming down the pipeline in the early 1950s. I mean, this is before Joni Mitchell, before Joan Baez, before the term singer-songwriter was even a term. I mean, even Pete Seeger hadn't written his famous "Where Have All the Flowers Gone" until 1955, and was that song possibly influenced by Connie Converse? The reason why I say this is Pete Seeger was part of the same friendship circle that Connie Converse was introduced to in 1954 when she's invited to perform at the house of Gene Deitch. Now, Gene Deitch was a budding animator, he was an audio enthusiast, and he would hold these weekly music salons at his big house just north of Manhattan, and he would invite his eclectic group of friends to experience new styles of music, new performers, and Connie Converse showed up January of 1954 with her guitar in tow. She had her hair tightly pulled back. She was wearing no makeup, thick glasses like yours, and a very, very, very long, out-of-date, drab, unstylish dress. Gene Deitch remembered looking at her going, this woman is either a librarian or a Catholic nun. However, when Connie started to sing, the room got very quiet, and Gene Deitch quickly turned on his reel-to-reel tape recorder and hit record. When my man goes to sea, he steps so high and free. I think I know as I watch him go that he has no need for me, And when my man comes home and waits a while to roam, I think I see as he smiles at me that he's dreaming of the phone, the phone. I'm not a pious Christian, and I do not go to Mass, but I pray to Father Neptune to let him safely pass. I sing to the God with the three-pronged rod and the whiskers wild and free, that I got a man with a beard and a tan and a passion for the sea. He rides through the storm in the cold and the warm, and he likes to risk his neck, and I like to know when he goes below that it's just below his lady. He was a simple guy, singing I'll love her till I die. Weep a tear for John's lady. 7 long years she went with Brady. All he could say or sigh was, lady, I'll love you till I die. Somebody else said, lady, be mine. I've got a house with a flowering vine. I'll take you out to faraway shores, and everything I have is yours. Weep a tear for John Brady, 6 foot under where it's shady. He was a simple guy, singing I'll love her till I die. Singing I'll love her till I die. Singing I'll love her till I die.
Connie went back to the home of Jean Deitch. She went back there several times, and every time Jean would record more and more of Connie's songs until Connie had a full-fledged demo of all of her songs. Now, this demo became known as the 1954 kitchen demo recordings. And right after that, something incredible happened. Connie's friend, Bill Burnell, used his advertising ties equipped with Connie's demo, and he was able to book Connie Converse on a television appearance on the CBS morning show with Walter Cronkite. Now this is huge. She's invited to sing 2 songs. I like to imagine a young Bob Dylan or Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez just happened to be watching this 1954 television show. We know her parents weren't watching, as they didn't approve of her music ambitions. And sadly, there is no saved footage from this television show. Only some black and white stills of Connie sitting next to a very young Walter Cronkite. I'm sure she must have sang at least one of these next songs. Now, the first song in this medley is the very first song Connie ever wrote. It's called Down This Road. She wrote it in 1950 at the age of 25. Down this road on a Monday morning came a riding 3 strangers. Down this road on a Monday morning came a riding 3 strangers. There was one wearing green and one a peacock feather and one wearing overshoes against the bitter weather. And they gave me 6 white horses for to carry my load. And they beckoned me to follow, and they took me down this road on a Monday morning. Maidens all within a ring, all ours without a man to marry it. Sweet Amelia, let us sing. Lord, I wish her name was Harriet. Lovely far beyond comparison, fairer we have never seen. Loved and lost by Charlie Harrison. Charlie was the one she stole from me. Playboys die young, this 1 to 2. Oh, and out making dreams come true, and the world was grim again without him, again without him. Once there was a trumpeter, blew his love a ballad. That was not enough for her, so he blew her a lobster salad. Here is the door, and who will ring the bell? What shall we say? Is she waking? Is she sleeping? Sweet is the air, the moon is on the hill, fair as the night when they chose each other's keeping. I tell her this, that a loving is losing. Why should we be choosing to love what we must part with? I told her so.
her heart with. And if you fear me, I will come and hasten. If you love me, I will bid you well. And if you scorn me, I will lay you waste. And if you know me, I will come to stay. So keep on singing when you hear my feet, and keep on dreaming if your love is sweet. To me tomorrow will be just the same, for sorrow, sorrow, sorrow is my name. There's no proof whether Connie ever experienced love. There were some letters, love letters, that were discovered that indicate that maybe she had some liaisons with some unavailable co-workers, a possible boss, but nothing was ever confirmed or proven. Connie, well, her younger brother Philip said Connie at one time hung out with some very masculine-looking women in the 50s in Greenwich Village, but nothing was ever confirmed if there was anything more going on. Connie had a very close girlfriend growing up named Franny Flint, who tragically took her own life when she was just 23. And Connie's response to this was, one of the main rights that every person has is the right to do away with themselves if they wish. Sad lady, walking through town with a light sad step and a golden gown. Mad lady, dancing on down with a wreath of roses and violets through and daisies for a crown. See how the lake is frozen over, see how the grass is turning brown, and on the night she lost her lover, all the stars came tumbling down. Sad lady, walking through town with a light sad step and a golden gown. Mad lady, dancing on down with a wreath of roses and violets and rue and daisies for a After Connie does that television appearance on the show with Walter Cronkite, she lands a music agent. Now, she starts writing songs on the piano, and she writes a lot of piano songs. She even composes an opera or two. In 1960, her friend Bill Burnell commissions her. It's one of the only 2 commissions she ever gets. She gets commissioned to write the music for an animated allergy commercial. But that's just not enough money for Connie to quit her day job where she's been working at a photo printing lab. And this just makes Connie more frustrated and more depressed and more drinking. Now, she's been living in Manhattan for 15 years. She's been writing songs for 10 years. And now that beatnik, coffee house, art scene is thriving around her. And yet, Connie is just not performing in them. She's too
self-conscious, she's too shy, she's not great at self-promoting, and after receiving rejection after rejection from her agent, as in, your song's just on commercial, they don't know what to do with them, she becomes too insecure to even perform for even her select group of friends. And so, Connie makes the decision, at the age of 36, in 1961, she gives up her songwriting dreams, and as Bob Dylan comes in to Greenwich Village, she exits. And she goes all the way to Ann Arbor, Michigan, where she starts out, she takes a job, starting out as a secretary, and quickly moves up to becoming the managing director for the Journal of Conflict Resolutions at the University of Michigan. Now, this is a major job. This is a secure job. This is a job that pays her money. She's living in the same city as her favorite brother, Philip, her younger brother, and his wife, and their 2 kids, and she loves being an aunt. But she has given up her dreams for a new life, a safe life. Shall we dine out, my dear, and dance the night away? Don't say you're tired, you know you haven't worked all day. We've paid the rent finally, and we're free to be free. Come now and waltz the empty pocket waltz with me. Let's close our door and make believe we're all alone. Grandma can't hear, and baby's sleeping like a stone. We've paid the doctor his fee, and we're free to be free. Come now and waltz the empty pocket waltz with me. Why so unhappy? Don't be that way. Maybe they'll make me queen for a day. You'll find a job, probably, or be free. Come now and waltz the empty pocket waltz with me. The empty pocket waltz. Connie said she never felt like she fit into society, that she was almost like an outer space alien. She would walk around the city of Ann Arbor and people watch and wonder what made everyone so happy and how did I even fit into this species? She wrote in her journal, "Human society fascinates me and awes me and fills me with grief and joy. I just can't find my place to plug into it." I understand. I mean, I'm not personality-wise like Connie, but I understand how it feels when you're not maybe doing what your soul wants to be doing, and it's just not a great place to be in, and it's very disconnecting. There once was a girl in the olden days, grew weary of men with a roving gaze. Farewell, fickle lovers, goodbye, goodbye, for I'm falling in love with a man in the sky. The man in the sky, he walks in haste, with 3 bright buckles around his waist, and a great dog near, and a little dog nigh,
and a steady gleam in his golden eye. One night she stood on her windowsill and stepped right out on the highest hill and climbed to the place where the planets are and jumped from there to the nearest star. She rocked in Cassiopeia's chair and waked the dragon and roused the bear, and the great dog howled and the little dog whined, and the girl grew cold in the rising wind. She found Orion at last, and then she found he was just like other men. When on his shoulder her head she'd lay, his eye was 1,000,000 miles away. This tale has a moral brief to tell, and I won't go on, for you know it well. Remember the girl in the days gone by who fell in love with a man in the sky. She rocked in Cassiopeia's chair and waked the dragon and roused the bear, and where they buried her I forget. But the man in the sky isn't married yet. Well, it's now 1972, and the job that Connie's had for 10 years at the university, well, it's been a safe job. It dissolves, and she's out of a job suddenly, and she's more down and depressed than ever. So much so that her friends and her coworkers are really concerned about her. And so they band together, they pool their money, and they send their friend Connie Converse to go to England for 6 months. Because they knew this was a place Connie always dreamed about going, and they were just hoping it would cheer her up. And she goes. I mean, if that isn't love, I don't know what is. When I go traveling, I take along with me something to tell me why I went away, something to tell me why I'm coming back someday. Take along my white satin, that's what I wear to dine and dance when I sail from Manhattan to the south of France. Lay my head in strange places, still in the most enchanted night. I can see those old faces in the Broadway light. When I go traveling, I take along with me something to tell me why I went away, something to tell me why I'm coming back someday. When I left New York City, I had a pair of aching feet. I had the urge to sit pretty and get off the street. Lay my head in strange places, still in the most enchanted night. I can see those old faces in the Broadway light. When I go traveling, take along with me something to tell me why I went away, something to tell me why I'm coming back, something to tell me why I'm coming back, something to tell me why I'm coming back someday. Connie returns to Ann Arbor from her 6 months abroad and basically falls right back into the same depressed state as before she left. And now it's 1974, August of 1974,
Connie has just turned 50 years old when she packs up her belongings in her VW bug and drives away, never to be seen again. Now, she left behind a series of cryptic letters basically explaining there was nothing left for her anymore in Ann Arbor, and she was going off to seek her fortune someplace else, and to not try and find her. She left without even saying goodbye to her favorite brother, Philip, and his wife and their kids, and they were her closest confidants, and they had no idea she'd be disappearing from their lives forever. In her farewell letter, she said, "Let me go, let me be if I can, let me not be if I can't. We go walking in the dark, we go walking out at night, and it's not as lovers go two by two, to and fro, but it's one by one, one by one, in the dark. We go walking out at night, as we wander through the grass, we can hear each other pass, but we're far apart, in the dark. We are walking out at night, with the grass so dark and tall, we are lost as we call, if the moon is down, and the moon is down. We are walking in the dark. If I had your hand in mine, I could shine like the morning sun, like the sun, like the sun. When someone chooses to disappear, does a part of them secretly want to be found? It took Connie's family 10 years before they decided to reach out to a private investigator who basically said to them, "You really need to think about what you're doing when you choose to look for someone who doesn't want to be found." And so they didn't. And no one knows what happened to Connie Converse or where she went. I mean, she might have just stopped. Honeybee, go and tell us, darling, to go and tell my darling to hurry home to me. Honeybee, say I'm sad and lonely, and say I'm wishing only his loving smile to see. We had a fight and he's been gone, an hour by the clock upon the shelf. He was right, but I'm too proud to go and tell him so myself. So honeybee, go and tell us, darling, to go and tell my darling to hurry home to me. Hurry home to me. Hurry home, won't you hurry home to me? Hurry home to me. Hurry home to me. Tell him, please, honeybee. Tell him, Well, my name is Hope, after all. I like to think Connie disappeared to a place she always belonged. I like to think she disappeared to, where is my, oh, whatever. I have to use this crappy one. I like to think she disappeared to Laurel Canyon. Now, I like to take my Laurel Canyon walks. It's right up the street from where I live in Los Angeles. And there's a very old woman who lives in this little tiny house surrounded by trees and flowering vines. And every once in a while, I will pass by her house and I hear the tinkling of a guitar. Did Connie Converse disappear to Laurel Canyon? You know, the epicenter for the singer-songwriter of the 1960s on the West Coast. Maybe she changed her name. Maybe she befriended Joni Mitchell and Carole King and others who live in Laurel Canyon in between two tall mountains. In between two tall mountains, there's a place they call lonesome. Don't see why they call it lonesome. I'm never lonesome when I go there. See that bird sitting on my windowsill? Well, he's saying whippoorwill all the night through. See that brook running by my kitchen door? Well, it couldn't talk no more if it was you. Up that tree, there's sort of a squirrel thing. Sounds just like we did when we were quarreling. In the yard, I keep a pig or two. They drop in for dinner like you used to do. I don't stand in the need of company with everything I see, talking like you. Up that tree, there's sort of a squirrel thing. Sounds just like it did when we were quarreling. You may think you left me all alone, but I can hear you talk without a telephone. In between two tall mountains, there's a place they call lonesome. Don't see why they call it lonesome. I'm never lonesome, now I live there. In 2004, one of the kitchen demo recordings of 1954 was played on a podcast where a young music engineer student named Dan DeZula just happened to be listening. And 5 years later, he produced an entire CD of all of Connie Converse's original 1954 kitchen demo recordings. That came out in 2009, and it went viral on Spotify. Now, as I mentioned, I only just recently discovered Connie Converse a little over a year ago, and after scouring the internet, reading every article I could find, which was not a lot, and now reading the definitive biography by Howard Fishman, it's the only biography, it just came out in May of this year. I still am left wondering, will Connie Converse ever appear from wherever you are and tell us what's been going on this past half century? If she were alive, she'd be 99. Next August 3rd, 2023, she turns 100. I actually met a friend of hers. Yeah, I just met her. She's 101. Her name is Annette Warren, and she actually sang 2 of Connie's songs back in the day. And she asked me, "How is Connie? Where is Connie?" And she said, I just said, I don't know. I hope you all have enjoyed coming on the journey of the Connie Converse universe with me. I want to thank the theater. I want to thank the BFF for sponsoring this event. I want to thank my husband for helping me with lighting, and thank everyone who's helped me get to where I am right now with this show. It's been a work in progress, it still is. And I want to close with the song I played for you at the very top of the show, the recording. So I'm going to sing it live. That recording, yes, I made it when I was 7 years old. It was written by my singing teacher, Marla Hunt, when I went to the hippie school in Marin County. And it was part of a 45 called Hope and Her Friends. And I just can't believe I recorded that song in the same summer, the same year, the same 1974, when Connie Converse went out to her car, stepped on the gas, and traveled far away from the world forever. Goodbye, Mother. Goodbye, Dad. Don't be sorry, don't be sad. I'll be back again someday, singing my song in the same old way. So I went out to my car, I stepped on the gas and I traveled far, singing those songs to those I meet, singing it soft and singing it sweet, because smiling makes your dimples show, makes you grow from head to toe. Smiling makes your wrinkles go away. Moved into my country home, I got no cares and I got no woes. Being sad just ain't my bad, and I won't turn into a mean old hag, because smiling makes your dimples show, makes you grow from head to toe. Smiling makes your wrinkles go away. Goodbye, Mother, goodbye, Dad. Don't be sorry, don't be sad. I'll be back again someday, singing my song in the same old way, because smiling makes your dimples show, makes you grow from head to toe. Smiling makes your wrinkles go away. Smiling makes your dimples show, oh yeah. Woo. Smiling makes your wrinkles go away, because smiling makes your wrinkles go This is Connie, and I did not play that other guitar, but Connie had that exact, very similar guitar. And if you happen to be wearing your Converses tonight, God bless you. Anyhow, there's a Q&A, but you know what, it's so late, and I just thought, maybe I'll just take one burning question, and then I can hug you all and say hi. Because that's so much fun, right? Yeah. So if you had a question, yell it out. If not, I
What
would
was
say...
the song that Tom was playing that you heard? Was it Lily? That you thought was like, Jody, this isn't...
Oh, so it's totally true. Seriously, I was walking past the desk, and you know, he has Spotify, and I was like, it was my first song, hello. No, this happens to me a lot. What the hell? We lived alone. We lived alone. So that was the first song I did. We lived alone, my house, and I heard that, I was like, what? It kind of sounds like, yeah. So I thought that was a Joni Mitchell, early Joni Mitchell or something, but I was like, no, that's not Joni Mitchell. Who is it? So yeah, good question. Yes.
The lady on Laurel Canyon.
Yes.
When do you go ring the bell?
Yeah, that's all. She's a little secretive, so, and she's got like a ramp now, and I don't know.
She didn't want to be found.
She doesn't want to be found. I just don't want to, yeah.
Drop a letter?
Maybe I will. But obviously, she's waited this long. She's just like, you know, sometimes people surround themselves for a reason. Maybe she has, I don't know. Maybe she's just like, I'm afraid. I don't want to ruin it. What if it is, you know, I just leave it. Let's just leave it. Can we just, I don't want to ruin it. You can drive up in your Vespa and you can. Any other burning? Burning? That doesn't sound good, but, well, you guys, thank you so much. This, I really appreciate this. Was like, you know, really exciting, and it's an evolving process. So thank you, Santa Monica Playhouse, and yes.
I just wanted to address the audience after your wonderful evening.
Oh my God, thank you. Were you the moderator? Is that why?
No, I'm one of the co-artistic directors here.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I just wanted to, it's become customary for one of our senior members, me being the seniors, to come out here at the end. I've been here since 1964.
Oh my God.
I spent 2 years in Vietnam, but other than that, I grew up here.
Wow.
And it has become customary for one of our senior members to come out here at the end of every performance and extend to you, our audience, as we like to think of you, our extended family, over the last 63 years, over 5 million of you, to say thank you. And you may ask, what are we thanking you for? In this case, you didn't buy a ticket, but you did show up. And you sat in the seat. And you endured the entire performance.
Warts and all.
In all seriousness, that's a special thing you're doing when you endure the performance. Contrary to popular opinion, theater is not a spectator event. When you sit in that seat, whatever comes off the stage hits you right here, and you walk out the door with food for thought and contemplation. I survived Vietnam in '69, and in 1999 I had a thought, and the thought was, our humanity is our most precious resource. And it seems to me to be an imperative we do all we can in our lives to experience that humanity and allow it to affect those around us. And when you sit in that seat, you're giving yourself that opportunity, because that food for thought and contemplation takes you out of your comfort zone. It allows you to become a little more tolerant, a little more accepting, a little more patient, a little more empathetic, a little more human. And that is a sacred gift you give yourself, your friends, your family, your community, the artists on stage. And for that gift, personally, and for the Playhouse, I wish to extend you our deepest gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Many of you may not know Playhouse history. Playhouse was founded in 1960, and it wasn't until March 4, 2020. We never had a dark night until then. And now, for almost 3 years, we were dark. We were shuttered like all the theaters and venues around the country, around the world. And during that time, there was some support. But now we're in recovery. And as you can see, you guys did a good job tonight. You're almost full. But that's not happening. A lot of theaters are closing early. They're truncating their seasons. And the only way we're going to get people to come in and experience this experience is to become advocates ourselves. Each and every one of you can. We have 20 more events going on. This is the Binge Free Festival of Theater. We've been doing it now for 10 years, and we've been offering free theater for over 40 years. Because it's important that you get in the seat and you endure the performance. It's for all of us. It's for our world today. How are we going to cope if we don't grapple with the challenges that we are all faced with? And so we're asking, advocate, tell people about not just our theater, all theater. It's not just Playhouse. The only thing about Playhouse that we're going to ask is, as you leave, please put a little something in our Save the Past basket so that we can continue this experiment for another 63 years. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you.
that he knew Connie has to have a as I say, I'm a singer for punks, and I punk wrong chords. It's just part of it. It's just part of the process. Connie's amazing. Yeah. Sorry. I know Tara. Do you remember Tara? Do you remember
You're my son!
You're going to bring here in Santa Monica? My parents met. They didn't go to the ceremony. My dad didn't. I said, maybe I know your dad. Me too. How old is your dad? He's about to be 70. He's about. What did he study? He studied film studies. What's your dad's name? What's your dad's name? Same as mine, Shriner. Little Shriner. Living in DC? Hey, you know, Bill. One of my close friends' names is Bill Shriner. I'm serious. I'm taking a master's program.
Oh my God! I saw this one. And I thought, you know, I was like,
That's what my dad was saying.
what's going on?
Because I kind of look like my dad. He probably knew the same teachers. See? My dad tells a story about getting to take a class with George Carlin. Used to be one of my customers.
Because you know, it ain't. Let's not even go there. As you know. I don't know what was going on, but oh my God! You it's a close. I know I brought you dragged me here after 5 years. Wow! Oh my God! I cannot believe it.
Well, Shriner, but
You look so amazing.
because I know William Shriner, his brother Peter Shriner.
All night, we stayed up till
He dropped the seed to be in showbiz.
same place. Yeah, I know.
To be more of a show. Did he wear a fez? No.
And no, you babysat him. And Sam would go.
My memory is foggy those years for a variety of reasons.
He remembers because Lord, I would do the same thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, jump the line.
I'll do the first one, and now the next one's in 10 days. So, did I bastardize your Connie Converse enough? You love Connie Converse. I know. Wonderful show. I just worry about like the guy who wrote the book who is going to come see me and say, when I grew my dad said, on top of the dam,
Because you dream that one day someone's going to come up and go, I'm going to sue you for stealing my music.
He wondered what you saw.
Oh, of course, we're going to the Western world. Yes. That's the one that, like him, to put the hook in you, you hear something, it's like an earwig.